Traditionally, young voters have skewed Democratic, but conservative activists want to change that. Charlie Kirk, founder of the right-wing group Turning Point, is looking to influence elections with his social media presence and radio show, while other media figures on the right try to infiltrate pop culture, like Candace Owens posing with Kanye West in White Lives Matter shirts at Paris Fashion Week. Let's bring in Kyle Spencer. She's the author of the new book, Raising Them Right, the untold story of America's ultra-conservative youth movement and its plot for power. Kyle, help me here. I've got two teenagers at home. They don't care about politics. They don't care about civics. Yet they know exactly who Ben Shapiro is. You are embedded in this movement. How does this movement work that they are able to get young people into their communities?
So it's really interesting that you say this, because one of the things that they do is they traffic in culture war issues, and they avoid really very specific political points that kids who might know more about politics would actually be able to talk about or to think about. So they stay very tribal about them, us and them. They believe this, they want to do that, and sort of stay away from issues.
And how are the school-based culture war issues such a win for the right? Because it seems that what public schools are trying to do is be more inclusive. One would think that would be welcoming to young people.
I think what they really do a lot in these movements and with these people is to really create fear and to really play on that fear. And one of the groups of people—
What fear? That the trans community is taking over the world, which is an outright lie?
That they're going to be replaced, that white boys are no longer going to be able to rule the world, that other people are coming in to take their place, that immigrants are coming in, that affirmative action is bringing people of color onto campuses. And when they stoke this fear, the group that really responds are young boys. And so
young white boys.
And they target that audience. And remember, you know, we think of these kids as being very lefty, but 4 in 10 young people voted for Donald Trump in 2020.
So help us understand, because they've got these influencers in this right-wing movement, and they seem to be influencers that I have not seen on the left.
The right wing and the Republican Party has become like a celebrity-making machine, which can be kind of counterintuitive because we think of Hollywood as being the ally with the Democrats. But people like Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk and a lot of these other people that you and I have never heard of that our kids know about, these people are created. The Leadership Institute, which is a right-wing training academy, teaches kids how to go out there, work social media, teaches them how to do media. They spend $25 million a year teaching young people how to get out there and be celebrities for the cause, to co-brand themselves. This is very intentional. It's not a mistake.
How much of what they're pushing is outright misinformation?
Most of it is. A lot of it is. And that's why they like to stay away from real issues and to stay on things like, hey, that guy on your campus who's got a beard, he wants you to work, he wants to take your money, he's lazy, he doesn't want to do anything. They like to stay in these kind of areas that are not very fact-based. And they also like to do this thing where they kind of create these straw men. Charlie Kirk is very, very popular when he tells people this is what the leftists on your campus think. They're socialists. They want to take your money. You know, he traffics in that because then people are arguing about things they don't even believe in.
So where do we go from here? Is it being successful?
I think they're doing an excellent job. And I think what we have to understand is this is expensive, and the right wing is spending a lot of money on this. There's a lot of communicating that happens, a lot of unifying of message. Democrats have a more complex message. They like to talk about their accomplishments. They like to talk about the things they care about, and they're going to have to spend a lot more money messaging to young people. They cannot take them for granted, and they also have to figure out how to put money into this and to message on social media and on campuses effectively and cohesively.
Why do you think they haven't already?
I think they take young people for granted. And, you know, the Democratic Party is, let's face it, a kind of dysfunctional family.
Hold on a minute.
Oh,
it is no more, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
It is no more dysfunctional than the Republican Party.
It is, on some level.
On what level?
Yeah.
On what level?
Yeah. What happens with the Democrats is there's all this internecine warfare all the time between the more progressive young people and the elders. They're
because
constantly—
it's a big tent, diverse party that fits so many people.
Exactly.
But why would, hold on, but why would that be categorized as dysfunctional or more dysfunctional than the Republican Party when many, many, many Republicans, Mitch McConnell himself, who abhors Donald Trump, is sitting there in silence hoping the Democrats take him out. How is that more functional than Democrats?
They present as a much more functional, weirdly enough, they present as a much more functional family. They work together. They do not, Mitch McConnell does not come out and talk about the leader of his party. They keep it all behind closed doors. On some level, that looks, particularly for voters, a lot more functional than the Democrats, who are young people mistrust the older people mistrust the younger people. You know, you think about messaging.
What about all those young people who came out and voted for Joe Biden, who won the last election? That couldn't one argue that's more functional?
That was functional. And you know what happened? We had very, very high voter turnout with young people in that election. What motivated them? I think it was fear. And fear is not really a great motivator for the Democrats. They have to have a better way to motivate people.
Well, they won the last election. We'll see what happens in 3 weeks. Kyle, thank you for joining us. Kyle Spencer. Again, her new book, Raising Them Right. Coming up, one person trying to be a functional Democrat in the Senate